Hey everyone, welcome to Wine and Real Estate. Bonsoir et bienvenue à Vin et Immobilier. So I'm back in Ottawa.
Yay! We'll drink to that.
Yes. So what are we having tonight, Jennifer?
It's a Shiraz. So it's just one of our everyday favorites that we drink a lot. And tonight we're going to be talking about some of François' adventures in Moncton.
Yes.
Some new projects that we're working on. So maybe investing in U.S. properties. And we're going to be talking about this nice, it's a sparkling wine. It's a Blanc de Noir, which is what I really like, but it's a Blanc de Noir rosé.
Yes.
We're going to talk a little bit about that and just what we've been up to lately.
So for those that were wondering, Jesse Fregali was supposed to join us, but he had some unfortunate news late in the day, so we are rescheduling the interview. So very exciting guest for the year 2021. Next week we have a couple we're interviewing, a couple of investors from Ottawa, and we're really excited to have them on as well. So I can't wait to hear their story. They do wholesaling, multifamily, all kinds of exciting things. And yeah, so on to my New Brunswick trip. So
That
yeah,
was quite an adventure. So
how many days was I gone?
8.
8 days, yeah. So anyway, with New Brunswick, with COVID and everything, it's kind of hard to travel.
It's been very complicated even to get renovations done.
Yeah.
And we really need to get some units rented. So
Yeah, for income, I mean, it's okay to have some empty units. You have to plan for vacancies, but in that case, vacancies were taking too long, so we had to take matters in our own hands, and I had to dust off some equipment and go down and paint. I did mostly paint, ripping out some old carpets, plastering, kind of evaluating the space, which is what we would normally do if, like when we buy local properties, what do we do normally?
yeah, usually we would go in and evaluate, like you said, and kind of get an idea of what kind of work needs to be done. So that's one thing that you did, and you were able to hire a handyman to do the things that you weren't able to do.
Yeah, all while respecting the COVID rules, isolating. So I was yelling across the lawn and just barking orders. And then I'm leaving. Here's the key, and you can go in. And I ordered flooring. It was curbside delivery. Then the guy left. I brought it in. Anyway, it's there's always a workaround. I mean, especially as real estate investors, you need to find solutions.
We were definitely creative for that one.
Yeah, I had been putting off that trip for months.
Well, because of COVID, and then we just really didn't have a choice.
No, so I thought, well, I'll get in my car. Now that I'm retired from the 9 to 5, I can just go and do what I want. Normally, you don't want to spend time in your business, I think they say. Spend time on your business, not in your business. So you want, like if you're able to delegate, normally you'd like to delegate stuff. So, there's Mike Nicholson. Yeah, glad I had a successful trip. Thank you very much. Yes, it was successful. The flooring was installed. The paint was done. I managed to rent one of the units. So
from a distance?
Yeah, from a distance. Again, remotely. So, anyway, property management, it's good, but you have to be careful as well, and you have to keep on top of your property management. They say like manage your property manager. So yeah, so we've had to do that. It's a fact of life, and it's tough for them as well. So we're talking about an investment in Moncton, New Brunswick, and I'm sure like out there it's difficult. It's hard to find labor and the right team. So as you grow, there's growing pains, and I just figured I'd get involved and get stuff moving.
And they said that with COVID, the renovations has been increased by 40%. So that's not just for investors. It's people that are at home and are tired of looking at their ugly flooring, or they want to change their bathroom. So with all those increasing renovations, it really makes skilled labor really hard to find. But we were very fortunate.
Dad Bod Property Maintenance.
Yes, Dad Bod.
So it's perfect for me, the Dad Bod.
But they do a really good job, and they have really great prices. So if there's other investors that are looking for people to do renovations, to do even smaller jobs, painting,
They're repairing some tile.
They're really doing some creative work for us as well, so that we don't have to rip out all the tile in the surround of the bathtubs. We're just going to replace 6 tiles. So they're doing really good work, and they're very good price. So it's Bod
Property maintenance. I guess I'll have to put it in the show notes after.
So how do you...
Yes, Rémi and Marc. So we have a question from Adrian. How do you see the market in Moncton for the near future?
That's a good question. We actually just spoke with one of our realtors in Moncton, and he said that it's really crazy. I was just talking with him while François was on like a billion other phone calls. But he said that it's the prices are still going up. Properties are still selling within 48 hours of going on market, which is crazy if you think about Moncton. It's such a small place, and he said that vacancy is lowest as he's ever seen it, and rent is higher than he's ever seen it.
Yeah, like one of our units was rented at the old rate for how much? About $800 a month for 3 bedrooms, 1.5 bathroom, and now we're able to get $1,300 for it. So with some renovation, but it's mostly
aesthetics.
Aesthetics and market appreciation for rent, which is kind of odd to say. Normally market appreciation is on the property itself, but now it's like rental appreciation.
The market rent has gone up so much.
Yeah, it's pretty almost doubled in many cases. So it's not $1,600, but it's gone up tremendously. But you still have to buy at the right price. So Moncton, yes, prices are going up. You have to be smart about what you buy in the right neighborhoods, right streets. So you need boots on the ground. So that's where property management helps. We'll have to send our property manager to evaluate the properties we're looking at. We're working on a new strategy. So instead of buying 1 or 2 building at a time, we'll probably buy 10 or 12 at once. So with investors and money partners. So I think that's going to increase like scale and keep Dad Bod busy. So
actually don't call him. Sorry.
Don't call him.
Yes.
They're useless.
They're busy.
They're all ours. We've already told them. So when we buy more buildings, then we'll be able to do that. And then as well, it's good to diversify. So just like in the stock trading, you need a balanced portfolio. So we're looking at some U.S. properties, usproperties.ca. Don't call them once again. They sound like they're excellent so far. We're looking at some places in Detroit, Rock City. Yeah.
Oh, that's what it's called, Rock City?
Well, you don't know, like in the movies, Detroit, Rock City.
Oh, okay, no.
Anyway, maybe I date myself anyway. So I should have a sip of wine.
Yes, so.
Anybody drinking something interesting tonight? So it's kind of weird talking to the camera, but...
Yes. But it's kind of we're kind of finishing off 2020 and then looking towards 2021. So I'm excited about our projects in Moncton, and like you said, with the U.S. properties, I think that's going to be great.
Yes.
And then we'll be ringing in the new year with our Blanc de Noir. So
nice bubbly.
I don't know if anyone can see the bottle, but it's kind of I don't know if you saw that. I didn't see it actually when we bought it, but it's a Blanc de Noir sparkling rosé wine with ice wine dosage. So it actually has
there's some ice
wine in it.
So it's going to be sweeter than maybe what you want, but
it'll be sweeter. But I think that it's going to be a great way to ring in 2021, and who knows what it's going to bring, COVID or no COVID. We're still going to be investing in real estate.
Yeah. So we have a question from Mike Nicholson. I would love to hear more about your adventures in the U.S. We'd like to grow in the U.S. as well. I think, Mike, if I'm correct, you're in Sault Ste. Marie, so on the U.S. border as well. So sorry if
we should definitely hook you up with the contacts that we have there, because it's
glowing references. It's insane. Yes. I've never heard so many good comments.
Yes, we asked for actually 5 references. We were kind of difficult because with the U.S. being so far from us
and closed, the border
being closed or somewhat closed or half closed, I don't know. We really want to make sure that we're putting our money
in a safe
investment
place.
and in an investment that's going to make lots of money. And it's actually very interesting because it's really, like a lot of people say it's turnkey, but this is really turnkey. Like you just give them the money.
You turn the key.
But you don't even turn the key. You just give the money.
Yeah, you give the money and then you rake in the money.
Yeah, so it's very interesting. So it's usproperties.ca.
.ca, yeah. So it's Canadians investing in the US.
Yeah, which is really nice. I like working with Canadians, and I think that it's a really interesting business model. So they buy properties that are kind of run down, but in good neighborhoods. They renovate them, and then they sell them to you already renovated, but you get the lift a few months later. We can talk about that after, but they actually rent to Section 8.
It's called Section 8.
Which is kind of, I think, our equivalent of social service.
Yeah, it's like they get people that live in those houses receive a voucher, like an amount from the government.
For
and
rent.
For rent, it takes years to get it. And if they're late with a payment or they don't keep the property up, like maintain it, then they can lose that voucher, and it's really hard to get. So the tenants are really good. Usually they stay in for years, which for Canadians, especially Ottawa, like hot markets, you don't want tenants staying too long, like 2-3 years, then you want them out so you can increase rent, which is bad. But
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it is because the laws don't allow us to increase rent very much. But in the US, it seems to be reversed. You want stable, long-term tenants.
Mm-hmm.
We're looking at single properties, which is a big change for us.
Something that we don't usually do, yes.
Yeah. But what's nice is, just a quick example, you buy a place for, US Properties buys it maybe for $60K. They put in $20 to $30K in renovations, repairs. Then it's now at $90 to $100. Let's say that's our price. And then we pay it cash, $100,000 US, and then we refinance it with a bank. So US banks, once you have a corporation and you have an asset, they're open to refinancing the property, and then you're able to pull out a higher assessment. So 100,000, but it's probably worth more around 140. So you're able to pull out about 80% of that, which would be how much, Jennifer?
Oh my goodness, you want my brain to work like that?
80% of 140.
Like
so
110?
yeah, so you pull out
120?
pretty much all your cash, and then you can rinse and repeat. So that's what we're hoping to do, and buy a whole bunch, maybe a whole street. We'll see.
Yes, oh my goodness, I have to keep François a little bit more calm, but...
Yeah, well, you remember, people have been watching us for a while. I'm the gas pedal, and you're the brake.
Yeah, so maybe we'll buy one and try it out.
Oh, there you go. We have Dad Bod Property Maintenance watching us.
We were actually just talking about Rémi and Marc and the great work that they've been doing in one of our properties in Moncton.
Yes, so you guys should go to the US as well, no?
Yes.
But yeah, so great people, but don't call them because we want to buy a whole bunch of buildings and we need to keep you. But that's okay. We'll share. We're nice that way.
Yes. But so we're very excited about that, about the US properties, and just I think start finishing off 2020, which has been great, even with the COVID and with François having to go to Moncton for 8 days.
Yeah.
And
it's just a challenging year, but a year of opportunity. So we ended 2019 signing up for Mel and Dave's mentoring program, December 27th, I think.
Yes, it was at the end
of the year. And then New Year, we're going to buy all these buildings, and then we started fairly well. What did we do at the beginning? We were listening to all the classes and the program, and then my association with the Right Club was growing, and we were hosting our own meetup in Ottawa. And then our last meeting was
March
on
12th.
March 12th,
Yes.
the day before they announced the pandemic. So last meeting,
Yeah.
that was it. And then at work, it was hard. I was working in the retirement industry, so wearing the mask and full PPE for months. And then we just started crunching numbers. We had a 5-year plan for me to retire and soon for Jennifer to retire from full-time work and do full-time real estate investing. And it only took a few months for me to replace my income and passive income. And we started buying more properties in New Brunswick, in Ottawa. We looked a lot at Cornwall. we bought a rental cottage near Lake Ontario. Then we took a bit of a break. I quit my job so I can focus on this full time. And now I'm working more and more with the Right Club. I'm working on a mentoring program with a nice gentleman for joint venture partnerships. And what have you been doing, Jennifer?
Working.
Supporting me and tolerating me, so.
Working and crying while François was gone.
Yeah.
But no, I think that 2021 we're going to be able to amp things up even more. And I'm just excited just with François only being a few weeks now doing this full time, how many people he's been able to talk with and how
Insane.
many...
Quit your job, it's worth it. But do your math before.
Yes. Or have somebody else who can do that. But anyway, it's exciting to see what you've been able to accomplish just with a few weeks.
Yeah.
And I think that this is it's just showing us what's going to be coming for us for 2021 and what we'll be able to accomplish. So it's very exciting.
Yeah, I believe in like maximizing your time. So my drive down to New Brunswick, it's about almost 12 hours. I was on so many phone calls. I'm like, whoa, I'm already at the Quebec border and then New Brunswick. I'm like, okay, I need more time. I have more calls coming in and then on my way back as well. So very exciting stuff. I'm starting some coaching with some people that are starting out. So I'm very excited about that. I can't wait to help others grow. That's a big part of our belief. We want to help others grow. So even with Dad Bod, like when you guys are ready to buy buildings, tell us and we'll show you the way. It's very easy once you know. I mean, there's a lot of steps, lots of planning, but it's surprising. Our kids as well, we're teaching them and grooming them. Our daughter, we've been telling her like she wants to do like gymnastics or have a gym or something. And like we saw with COVID, you need passive income because you never know.
More than one revenue stream.
Yeah. How much do they say you need? Like 9 streams?
Yeah, I think it's like at least 5.
Yeah. So how many are we at?
I don't know.
Yeah. So we're working on stock options as well. So I'm starting my paper trading very shortly. I'll keep you posted on that one, how that goes. But so far, real estate is like the easiest. It's not easy.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say it's not easy. Otherwise, everybody would be doing it.
But once you get started, oh hey, we have Charlie watching us. So Charlie was on last week. Jennifer was hosting, and we'll have to have you on again. Great conversation. I really enjoyed the topic and.
Yes, yeah. Well, he's a really great mortgage broker that really knows what he's doing, so that's great.
Yes, yeah, amazing. I mean, he could answer all your questions like that. We're like, oh, this is good.
Yes, that's great.
Yeah, so what were we saying about...
stock paper...
Yeah, paper trading. Yes. So yeah, bonjour. Paper trading, that's exciting. You get to try selling options. So that's going to be good to build more money, to buy more capital. Yeah. Like, it's great using other people's money, but it comes at a price. That's something that was discussed last week. The price of private lending, between 8 and 14% in our experience, especially if it's unsecured. So promissory notes tends to be a bit more expensive because there's no lien, things like that. Second mortgages, maybe a little bit less, B lenders. And there's so many ways you can get money. And now, stock options, that sounds even better because it's your money. And we've set up our corporation.
Your money making money to make more money.
Yeah, it's so weird. And you're selling options, so you're selling...
You're not actually buying any stocks.
Yeah, the idea, hopefully, is you don't buy. So... You're selling like insurance. I'm still kind of grasping the concept, but you're selling an insurance. If the stock falls at a certain level, then you buy it. So ideally, you don't buy it. You want to keep selling that because you're just selling insurance. So yeah. So Mike, we should talk one day more about investing. I'm life licensed and securities licensed. I can help you get licensed. Oh, cool. Yes. Yeah, definitely. Unfortunately, though, studying for me is over. I've already had... How many career change?
I don't know.
Changes. So I've done interior design, I've done horticulture, sustainable design, communications, marketing, sales, and what else? Yeah.
A little bit of everything.
But definitely we need to know more. Absolutely. Yes. And right now I believe in delegating when I can. Unfortunately, I was painting though last week. And
yes,
I was
you
not
were delegating that. But anyway. But we hadn't gone down to see any of our properties in Moncton, so we were waiting for COVID to be over to do that. And we just kind of got a bit of a push in the butt to go.
Yeah, exactly. We're like, we need to go. And the property was actually
in better shape than you
thought. Some of it was nicer than I expected, some worse. And yeah, it was nice to see the city. We'd only been to Moncton once, 10 years before, so it was exciting to see our investment and stay put, of course, and getting the call.
It's a shame that you didn't get to see both of the properties that we have there because you couldn't go out of isolation. Well, he would have had to stay 14 days and
then go out.
Yes.
But yeah, we'll keep that for some other time. Hopefully the vaccination comes out and we're done.
Yes. Hopefully maybe in the spring we'll be able to go.
Yes. And this week as well, exciting stuff. So the Right Club, Ottawa, Montreal, Cornwall, the Triangle we call it, is meeting on Thursday evening at 7 p.m. It's a free event on Zoom. There's networking. So we could, if anybody wants to join in anywhere from Canada, it's Eastern time. But I think it's a great event. I mean, the connections you make is amazing, and the content as well, hopefully, is good. And it's hosted.
Well, that's one thing that a lot of people say about the content about the Right Club is that it's very good quality. You get to hear from experts of all different kinds of walks of life. So it could be real estate agents or
mortgage brokers
or
insurance. What else do we have?
Other investors, but people who know what they're talking about. So you get a good value for the time that you spend.
Lawyers. So we have a lot of lawyers that come in, and they're hard to get. I mean, normally you'd have to pay for any type of consultation. There, you can ask questions and get insider information. The Right Club also has a national event on December 16th. And in the new year, there's a whole bunch coming up. We're going to have something for Calgary and then probably BC and Lower Mainland. So I'm going to be busy with them. Get ready.
Yes,
you might get involved too.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah. And then podcasts. And so it's really great. A few weeks ago, we had another great guest, Tiffany Bile and her husband. Matt, yes. So they do a lot of social media for their business. And it's tremendous what you get out of it. Like us, I mean, it's not perfect. There's tons of room for improvement. But we get calls and people feel like they know us and they hear about us, and even people at work.
Yes.
Your work.
Yes,
Tell us more.
Well, I just saw somebody at work the other day, and it was just somebody I know, but she's like, "Oh, I saw you. You buy houses."
Yeah. People keep thinking we were realtors or something, but no, we're not. We work with realtors, but we're not realtors.
We love realtors.
Yes. Pocket deals, any new listings, we want to hear about them and see the potential and how we can make it work.
Yeah, so I guess until next week. So next week we're talking with
Sarah and Léonard Semajust from Ottawa.
And Ottawa investors.
Yeah, and they're part of Cashflow Tribe, the council. So I'm excited to hear more about the council.
What they've been doing and
and their story. I think they're fairly new investors as well, maybe 1-2 years. So kind of like us. Well, we've done more. We've been investing how long, you would say?
Well, about
5 to 6 years, but very intense for the past year.
Yes.
Year and a half.
So I'm looking forward to hearing what they've been up to lately.
Yes.
And
then if you have suggestions or people that want to come on, send us a message.
Yeah.
We'd love to have guests. We have some guests from Oakville in January as well. So we're just working on the dates. And Jesse will be on hopefully in January or February. I hope everything goes well for him. A great guy, talks about commercial real estate, which is something that interests us quite a bit, and opportunities, and we'll have to talk about stock options too. We should get a guest on.
I have not grasped that yet at all.
We'll need a lot of wine for that one.
Oh my goodness. So.
Yeah, and a sommelier in the new year would be nice. Someone to really guide us and
tell us more
about wine. Yeah, because I have people now reaching out and saying, "Hey, you guys drink this. You should try that." I'm like, yeah, maybe you know more than I do. But it's good. We learn every day. So, yeah, it's great chatting with everybody.
Yes,
I hope you have a nice evening.
Chin chin.
Salut.
Until next week.
Have a good evening.
Bye-bye.
Bye.